Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal. Patch 9.2 finally got yet another update, and hopefully now that the holidays are over, we'll get more regular stream of updates over on the testing realms. This build of patch 9.2 is focusing more on tier sets and making even more adjustments going forward. Tier sets are super important heading into this patch, and getting all the tier sets right is going to be a priority for Blizzard, because these tier sets is going to be how we'll be interacting and playing our classes in the next build. But besides tier sets, we got some of the other updates that are not specifically class focused that are happened in this build for patch 9.2, so we'll go over those as well. And as always, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed, and if you're watching these videos anyway, you might as well hit subscribe as well as hit the bell, especially if you want to be kept up on day-to-day updates on the patch 9.2 and more. Starting off with the tier sets, we'll start with the Restoration Druid. For Resto Druid, they had a tier set change planned before the holidays, and this change was finally enabled. The 2-piece allows your Rejuvenation a 25% chance to grant the ally Renew and Bloom, which is a pretty weak heal over 8 seconds. However, even if Renew and Bloom is a pretty weak heal over time, it serves a purpose, as Swiftment can consume Renew and Bloom, which lets you keep your Rejuvenation, your Wild Growth, and any other HOTS on the ally, while also still providing them burst of healing with Swiftmend. The 4-piece set also got changed. Every 3 casts of Swiftmend will now grant you Incarnation Tree of Life for 9 seconds. Recently, when doing the Mage Tower, I actually got to try Incarnation Tree of Life for the Mage Tower challenge, and it's a pretty big cooldown, allowing the Druid to go into an incarnate form, giving their heals a lot extra potency, improving group sustain healing, but also giving you a little bit of burst healing as well. So no doubt it's a pretty big cooldown, and for Druids, in terms of healing side of things, this is a pretty good tier set. But some online are arguing that this isn't enough and their tier set should focus on more hybrid gameplay. Druids have the ability to go into cat form or booming form to dish out more damage, and that could help out to be competitive in a Mythic Plus and raiding environment. It's simply an arms race, and Restoration Druids feel like they're maybe behind Holy Paladins for getting cooldown reduction on Wings, which Wings can be used to do damage or heal allies, so it has a flexibility to it, or even Resto Shamans and their cooldown reduction on Totems, which doesn't necessarily mean more damage unless they play Kyrian, and the Kyrian Vesper Totem hits kinda hard, and they also use the Kyrian Legendary, so they're set up to be pretty strong heading into the next patch. I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that the tier set should get changed so that there can be more focus on hybrid gameplay? Or do you think the tools of Heart of the Wild, the Balance, and Feral Affinity together with Convoke Legendary that works for damage is enough? Next, we have the Protection Warrior tier set, and a lot of this tier set change in this build has been mostly to fix it and make it less buggy. So for the 2-piece set bonus, every time you spend 30 rage, you get a different buff called Seeing Red, and after you get 8 stacks of Seeing Red, it transforms into an Outburst buff, and the Outburst is what buffs your Thunderclap and Shield Slam. Previously, Outburst stacked up to 8 times, and then once it had 8 stacks, it empowered your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap. But this bugged out pretty hard with the 4-piece set bonus, where using Avatar, you got 8 stacks of Outburst previously. So let's say if you're sitting at 4 stacks of Outburst, 5 stacks, 6 stacks, but then Avatar is up, you either had to delay Avatar until you built up the rest of your Outburst stacks, or you had to use Avatar, kind of cannibalizing all the stacks that you were building for a while. So this simply cleans up that gameplay so there's no longer a buggy interaction. Then the 2-piece set bonus got changed a little bit, where the Outburst itself only buffs your Shield Slam and Thunderclap to be 200% more effective, and instead of buffing your Ignore Pain, it instead gives you a free Ignore Pain instead. This is pretty big for maximizing the value of your rage, since Protection Warrior sometimes can feel like they're spending all the rage on Ignore Pain whenever shield block isn't up. There's a lot of magic damage out in the last few raids, and being able to deal with that magic damage effectively through Ignore Pain has been fantastic, but it's kind of been like the last line of defense for warriors outside of the big button cooldowns. And if you wanted to play Event your Protection Warrior, there was no way you were even going to be able to press Condemn. You needed to spend all your rage on Ignore Pain, so now you actually get a little bit of wiggle room. There's a good chance you'll still spam Ignore Pain on every bit of rage you get, because there's a lot of damage that goes out. You want to be as tanky as possible, but it finally opens you up a little bit more breathing room of how you want to use your rage. Overall, this is a massive quality of life thing that makes the tier set work, that allows the Protection Warrior to be more aggressive while also getting defensive benefits on top of it. Overall, the tier set is looking to give you more healing over time with the talent of Indomitable, more avatar uses with anger management, but also defensive value for avatar as well. Not a big one, but still defensive. Overall, I gotta say I'm excited for Prot Warriors. The tier set looks great on paper, but I wonder how they'll end up at the end of it all once the final class tuning is finished. Then we have rogue tier sets, starting off with Assassination. The 2-piece tier set bonus is something that was planned for before the holidays. With the new 2-piece set bonus, now when you stab the enemy with a shiv, all enemies around you take more bleed damage and poison damage by 100% for a short amount of time. Now, I know what you're thinking, and I gotta disappoint, I did not test to see if this is uncapped in AoE. But I'm gonna guess that the debuff does not have a cap, since that's what the tooltip says. And yes, this is looking like a massive change and improvement for Assassination AoE output, specifically in Mythic Pluses. It's too early to tell if you are going to be changing the talents. Like, are you going to be running Crimson Tempest in single target? Or are you going to run Master Poisoner for even more poison damage? From the early testing, it does affect every single bleed, effective poisons, as well as damage over time, and I wondered if this will affect Envenom, since Envenom is nature damage based on your poison, but it doesn't seem to work that way. So it's unlikely we'll be doing some ridiculous one-shots or anything, but the bleed build is awesome for AoE, and even has a bit of burst for pure single target. Together with the 4-piece set bonus that speeds up the rate of your bleeds, together with Shiv and maybe even Xang, you could get the most value squeezed out of your bleeds in such a short amount of time. I think there might be a separate video in the future where I just try this out as Assassination Rogue in Mythic Pluses just to see how good this is for AoE. Then there's the Outlaw Rogue 4-piece tier set, also pre-planned from before the holidays. Your 2-piece set bonus allows your mastery to randomly proc pistol shots. Any pistol shots you fire off stacks up a buff of bullets until you get 6 stacks, which gives you a hidden bullet buff. With this hidden bullet, the next pistol shot you use will also fire off a between the eyes as if you used 6 common points on it. The free between the eyes counts as a real between the eyes, which comes with the cooldown reduction of the Outlaw Rogue as you spend common points on a finisher, but also any legendaries that may pair with between the eyes pistol shot interaction. This is a better version than the original tier set, as it actually functions. I'm hoping there will be more tuning going forward for Green Skin as well as the Blunderbuss legendary to become the main priority legendary to use with this tier set instead of Celerity, because in the early sims it looks like we'll still be running Celerity planned for patch 9.2. Besides this tier set, we're still waiting for some planned changes to the Unholy DK tier set, the Frost Death tier set, as well as the Blood DK tier set, and how it's supposed to give you more strength procs for less random heart strikes from your rune weapon. There's also a planned cooldown reduction Vengeance Demon Hunter tier set change that may or may not come to fruition in a future update. Then there's the Mistro tier set, which has had a lot of community feedback on it, so players are waiting to get a response since the tier set doesn't really work into the current playstyle of the spec. Then there's bugs with the Warlock tier sets as well as the Paladin tier sets, which hopefully will be addressed in a future update. Besides all that, we got the Warlock tier set appearance change. It's a little bit pointier than before, but in a different way. When Blizz decided that the Warlock tier set helm needed a redesign, they also went back and decided to add something extra instead of just taking things away. The horns I think is a very nice addition, even though they look like bunny ears from the front. I do hope that in the future the horns look a little bit more curved and a little bit more menacing, but I like the idea behind the helm. And for shamans, we also got a couple of new Ghost Wolf glyphs. In the past, shamans had the choice to be a Ghost Wolf or a Ghost Raptor. And in 9.2, it looks like we'll have the choice of becoming a Ghost Fox or a Ghost Lupine, which is a Zereth Mortis style of wolf. And that's going to be everything we have for this update for patch 9.2. Later this week, we'll have some more Mythic raid testing. And the fact that they were doing Mythic raid testing probably means that 9.2 should be coming out sometime soon-ish, maybe. And hopefully this week we'll also get a more response from the devs for some of the players' feedback on some of the different tier sets and bonuses and more. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this video down below. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. Also, in the description of every single video is a link to the Dalaran channel community Discord. You guys are more than welcome to join Discord. That's probably the best place to reach me. DMs are always open. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.